Unbound Gravel is a 330-kilometer race almost exclusively on gravel. And I mean all types of gravel, from cute little rocks to full-size stone. We are set to start at 6 a.m. in downtown Kansas. I don't know what to feel. The finish line is so far that I barely have any nervousness. The flag drop and we are off. The first 20k are super chill. People are talking, drinking, and the gravel is super smooth. I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe it's not gonna be that bad. Pretty much at that precise moment, I hear the wonderful music of a flat tire. I pray that it's not mine, but it is. So I had to stop, I plug it, and inflate the tire. And I'm back on the bike 2 minutes later. Not that bad, I guess. I'm finally able to catch up to the group, and it's already complete chaos. We are going down fast descent with sharp rock, and people are flatting and crashing left and right. I'm finally able to make it back 30 minutes later, and I hear again the wonderful music of a flat tire, and I have to stop again. This one takes way longer to repair. It was a sidewall rip. I have to put 2 plugs in, and once I'm back on the bike, I'm pretty sure my race is done. I'm not going to make it back to the front group, but I try anyway. So after a 30k all-out TT, I'm back up front, just in time for the first feed zone. I have a less than optimal stop, and I find myself dead last from the front group out of the feed zone. To catch back to the front group, I pretty much have to do my best 10 minutes, aka over 410 watts. And right when I make it back, there is a magnitude of shit thrown my way because I didn't take any pull at the front. But you know, I was maybe in the front group for 20k out of those 130k. So I'm not gonna say more, but gravel is not as welcoming as you might think it is. So we are now at the 140k mark, and I can feel that my body is not recovering from the considerable efforts I made earlier to catch back. I get dropped from the front group on a steep climb, and that's about it. Ian Boswell made a strong attack, and I was just not able to follow. Cool thing that happened like 10k into the race, Ian Boswell, the winner of this year, actually came to me and speak to me in French. So rock on, Ian, and big congratulations for your win. It was very inspirational. So on that note, I don't really feel the need to continue elaborating on the experience. I can tell you with full confidence that I gave everything I had to stay in contention for the win. I was aiming for the win. My objective was to win that race, so nothing, I guess, really mattered after that point when the win was off the table, so I'm not gonna continue in detail with what happened in the race. I know that you probably have the sense that this recap is only a big excuse, and it maybe is. Let's say everything goes exactly right. Do I think I could have won this event? Yes, I do. But the chance of everything going right in a race like Unbound is pretty much impossible or infinitely small. Therefore, I would honestly say that I was not in contention to win the Unbound 2021. On that note, how can I be more prepared for the next Unbound Gravel? Step 1. Longer training at higher intensity. There's a tremendous difference between 300 watts for 6 hours and 300 watts for 10 hours. For me, 300 watts for 6 hours is something that I can do pretty regularly, but the 4-hour extra is really something else. Step 2. Getting used to riding in the heat even more than I already was. By that, I mean knowing how to regulate intensity, hydration, and nutrition better. So I would say that I think I knew what to do, but maybe I didn't. So those 2 steps seems pretty simple, and I felt like I already knew those points, but the race just put it right in my face that I was not prepared enough. So I think that's maybe the boring part of it. They're super simple, but they're super hard to attain. So longer ride at higher power, longer ride in high heat. There's not a lot more to say. I think everything else was pretty much on point. So my commitment to you is that I will stay undefeated. So right now, I'm talking to myself. That's a note I made to myself just after the race. So I'm talking to myself, like I said, so feel free to skip this part. It's a mental training part. It's a way for me to stay undefeated, as I call it, and hopefully you stay undefeated yourself. In defeat, either you learn or you cry for injustice. Realize that failing is more helpful than avoiding the challenge. Here's a quote from Napoleon Hill. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefits. Setbacks are an essential part of the learning process. They are an integral part of creating something meaningful. For instance, remind yourself that a child needs to slip if he wants to learn how to walk. There is absolutely no shame in sliding. It's just a proof of having the courage to try. Change the way you perceive failure. Recognize that the only two fundamental ways to lose are giving up or ignoring your lessons' feedback. See failure as a learning opportunity that can help you understand what you are missing. Appreciate that in the long run, every mistake is exciting data. Discipline your reaction so you automatically react in a constructive way. Your reply should be like this. Awesome. I know I have to make some adjustment. Now let's find some solution that address the preparation to change the performance. So here's a quote from the greatest basketball coach ever. Failure isn't fatal, but failure to change might be. Overcoming failure needs to be your greatest strength. Quickly getting back after being knocked down is the most crucial attribute of the optimal performer. Here's another quote from Alex Lickerman. As long as you refuse to give up in despair and resolve to continue taking concrete action, some kind of victory is always possible. Failing well is being deeply affected by defeat, but not letting it affect your self-worth and push you out of the game. It is to have an urgent need for redemption that forces you to get back to work the next day. You must use failure as motivation for action. How fast you can recover, learn, and adjust will, with time, be the only true determinant of your success. On that note, I'll let you on a quote by John Kavanagh, the coach of Conor McGregor. The people who matter, they don't care whether you've won or you've lost. I just want to take that time to thank everyone that continue to support me day in and day out from far and near. I'm genuinely grateful for all of you. Thanks for tuning in for this Unbound recap. I'll do better next year. I'll be better prepared and ready to win this thing. In the meantime, as usual, just take care of yourself by making the most optimal choice in every moment, and do the same to take care of the ones you love.